Hello there, it's Monday, July the 4th, and this is Progressive Plan Inc. Quick Tip number 16. And today, I'm going to talk a little bit about engagement. And engagement is a particularly challenging topic for all of us. I think we can all recognize when we're working in a workforce that lacks engagement. And if you've been at all fortunate in your life, you've worked at least once on a team that's got really high levels of engagement, and you have a pretty good sense of how much more fun that is. But the more important thing in terms of the quick tip approach is how much more productive it is. So perhaps we should talk about what is engagement, and specifically we're talking about employee engagement. So there's a lot of different uses of this word. So employee engagement is the fundamental concept to understand and describe both quantitatively and qualitatively the relationship between the employer and the employees. Now, one of the things I think is a problem right from the beginning of the explanation is as soon as the average person reads the word employees, they are tending to think in terms of hourly paid, and that's where it ends. So I just want to point out to you that the CEO of any organization is also an employee, as are all the vice presidents and senior vice presidents. So let's keep that in mind, that when we're talking about employees, we're talking about all the employees from up here all the way down to the bottom. An engaged employee is defined as one who is fully absorbed by and enthusiastic about the work that they're doing. And they will voluntarily take proactive actions to further improve the work environment. And all of this adds up together. It helps the organization's reputation, it helps the bottom line, it helps the cost. So obviously, there probably isn't any organizations that do not want to figure out how to achieve this. An engaged employee has positive attitude towards the organization and its values. Do the employees even know what your mission and vision statement is? Because an engaged employee will definitely know what the vision and mission statement is. In contrast, and this is the other side of the coin here, disengaged employees, they can be, this can be anything from just barely meeting the minimum bar of getting your work done to openly, going as far as damaging the company, either deliberately or through inattentiveness. So that's the gist of what we're talking about when we talk about engagement. And I don't have a magic formula of how a place that has lost employee engagement would gain it back. But I can tell you, because I am one of those fortunate enough people. I've worked on quite a few deeply engaged teams, and you're always wanting to get back to that team. They become the memories of the best jobs you ever did. So we all, from turnaround management to corporate leadership, we all have an interest in figuring this engagement piece out and doing what we need to do to somehow re-engage the employees. So here's what there's a reason why I stopped at the beginning and pointed out that the CEO is also an employee, because I think that if we're trying to address employee engagement by lecturing the hourly paid people, and don't take that, demean it as negatively as it came out. I mean, lecturing, talking to, it doesn't have to be this, but if the focus for promoting employee engagement is on those employees and those employees only, think about what that's actually saying in terms of standard. What's good enough for them, is that not good enough for the CEO too? So what I'm getting at here is, I believe, and I'm not the sociologist that can back this up, but I believe quite firmly, if I go back through my memory of those times, teams, and companies that I was fortunate enough to work with that had good, solid engagement and were just plain fun to go to work every day, when I think about that, those teams had engagement from the top. Those teams had supervisors that were attentive to everything that was going on throughout the course of the day. Those teams had leadership that came and engaged with the employees and talked with the employees. And, I remember back in the 80s, for instance, I remember vice presidents coming and walking around and shaking people's hands and talking to various different employees at all different levels, all up and down. And the enthusiasm that those people brought to the floor was infectious. So I'm going to wrap it up there today. I don't want to go on and on and on about this. I just think it's important that we all remember that without engagement, we're not going to have success and we're never going to pursue excellence. And engagement doesn't start at the hourly paid. Engagement starts with the CEO. If the C-suite and the vice presidents and the GMs have little to no interest in the day-to-day happenings of the turnaround, chances are you're going to find less and less engagement for the turnaround in general. So that's what I have to say today. Hope you had a great long weekend, a long holiday weekend, and please click on my subscribe button. Have a good day.